Hey, it's MJD here, and this is my first mock draft of 2019. And every mock draft should start with this guy, Ohio State defensive end Nick BOSA. I know Arizona has Chandler Jones, and I know they were top 5 in sacks, but he's the best player available in this draft, and Arizona needs talent really bad. They were bottom on the defense in both yards per game and points allowed, so this top defensive end would definitely help them out. The 49ers are up next at number 2, and as much as I dislike the Niners, because I'm a Raiders fan obviously, I'm going to give him Kentucky's Josh Allen. Allen had 17 sacks last year. The Niners were tied 22nd in sacks, so Allen can fix that. Plus, get him in there next to DeForest Buckner and Solomon Thomas. You've got one of the best young pass rushing units in the league. With pick number 3, the Jets go with Michigan's RASHAN Gary. Now, this was a tough one for me because they're a 3-4 team, but now they have a 4-3 defensive coordinator in Greg Williams. And New York is in the same boat as the San Francisco 49ers. They need a guy who can get after the quarterback. Their sack leader only had 7 last year, but Gary isn't just a sack specialist. He can play all over the line and is very strong against stopping the run. At 4, some pass rushers are hard to find, but for the Oakland Raiders, they're going with Clemson's FERRELL, and it's not hard. FERRELL had 11.5 sacks last year. The Raiders of the team had 13. Dead last in the NFL. So they have to take the best passers available with their first pick. FERRELL got better every year at Clemson and had double-digit tackles for loss all 3 years he played. With the 5th pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take Alabama running back Josh Jacobs. Now hold on, you guys may think I'm a little bit crazy, but Bruce Arians is running the show now, and he loves to pair a downhill running game with his play-action concepts. Jacobs was a rotational player with Bama, but whenever he was on the field, he did it all. He loves contact and is a good wide receiver out of the backfield and can block. At number 6, the Giants finally get their QB of the future, DWAYNE Haskins out of Ohio State. Haskins has a big arm and is by far the most NFL-ready QB in this draft. He sees the field really well, is accurate, goes through progressions, has big upside, and you get him next to Odell Beckham and Saquon Barkley, a great young trio, or what we like to call triplets here at the NFL. With the 7th pick, another QB. This time, my Jags. They're taking Oklahoma's Kyler Murray. I'm telling you, Murray has all the traits to be the next Patrick Mahomes. Now, I've gotten a lot of trash talk because he's not the same size and doesn't have the build, but he has the baseball background. He can throw from any platform, and he has the vision and the ability to escape, and a lot of people don't have that. At number 8, the Lions should take Mississippi State's Montez Sweat. Ezekiel Ansah could be off to another team in free agency, and Sweat had 11.5 sacks in 13 games last season, so he's a perfect replacement. Plus, he lit up the Senior Bowl. Sweat can play with his hand in the dirt or standing up as an outside linebacker, so he's versatile. Pick number 9, the Bills get Josh Allen a weapon with DK Metcalf out of Mississippi. Metcalf is 6'4", 230 pounds, and he's built like a tight end playing wide receiver. He didn't put up big numbers last year because he hurt his neck, but he's a beast. You got to look at him. It's unreal, and he'll make Allen better. At number 10, the Broncos go back to the QB well and take Duke's Daniel Jones. Jones is big, has a strong arm, and can move better than you think. Even with Joe Flacco trade, this is the right move for the future. The Cincinnati Bengals have the 11th pick in the draft, and they need O-line help, so I have them taking CODY Ford out of Oklahoma. Ford played right tackle last season and also has played guard, so since he has options with him. The Bengals line has been a mess ever since they lost Andrew Whitworth. Ford would be another step in the right direction. With the 12th pick in the draft, the Green Bay Packers take Jalen Ferguson out of Louisiana Tech. Ferguson blew up last year, 17.5 sacks in 13 games. Clay Matthews' time may be up in Green Bay, so Ferguson is the perfect player to replace him. At 13, the Dolphins get their quarterback of the future by taking the babyface Drew Lock out of Missouri. He's 6'4", 220 pounds, so he has the size. He's got a quick release everyone's looking for these days. We don't know what's going to happen with Ryan Tannehill, but it's pretty clear he isn't the answer in South Beach. At 14, the Atlanta Falcons go with the defensive tackle out of Alabama, Quinnen Williams. Williams had 7 sacks last year from the interior. That's elite from the D tackle spot. Atlanta was tied for 22nd in sacks, so he feels an immediate need. The Washington Redskins have the 15th pick, and everybody's saying you have to take a quarterback. Well, if there isn't anyone on the board, like there are in this mock draft, all the quarterbacks are gone, I have them taking tackle out of Florida, Jawan Taylor. Washington's line can't seem to stay healthy, and they could lose at least one lineman to free agency. With all the best QBs gone by this pick, it's safer to build your offensive line, and Taylor will make a nice little steal at 15. With the 16th pick, it's another lineman. This time Carolina taking Washington State's Andrew Dillard. Tackle. Dillard is 6'4" and extremely athletic for a guy his size. He's good enough to start a left tackle out of the gate, which would be an upgrade for the Panthers since they currently may have to start Matt Khalil there. At 17, let's keep the tackles coming. The Browns take Alabama's Jonah Williams. Williams was a unanimous first-team All-American last season. The Browns used Greg Robinson at left tackle. He was okay, but the Browns are looking for a new Joe Thomas, and Williams could be it. With the 18th pick, the Minnesota Vikings go with O-line help as well, taking Mississippi's tackle, Greg Little. Little has some work to do. He's raw in some areas, but he's 6'5", 325 pounds, moves smoothly in pass protection, and the Vikings line was pretty bad last year. No QB was pressured more than Kirk Cousins, so they have to start investing in that O-line. At 19, the Tennessee Titans go with Oklahoma wide receiver Marquise Brown. Speed, and more speed. Hollywood Brown, as he's known, put up 75 catches for over 1,300 yards and had 10 touchdowns last year. Put Brown out there across from Corey Davis, who took a step in the right direction last year, and it will open up the offense immediately. Plus, he's related to Antonio Brown, so you know he has to get drafted. With the 20th pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers finally go and get a replacement for Ryan Shazier by taking LSU linebacker Devin White. White had 123 tackles in 13 games last year. So let's do the math. That's over 9 tackles a game. Tackles. Plays the pass well. Gets after the QB when you need him to. He does it all. The Seattle Seahawks are sitting at 21. I've got them taking Houston defensive tackle Ed Oliver. Oliver is a beast when it comes to stopping the run, which the Seahawks could not do last year. They gave up 4.9 yards per carry, so Oliver can help solve that problem from day one. At 22, let's give the Baltimore Ravens Florida's JACHAI Polite. Polite picked up 11 sacks in 13 games last year. That's his key strength, getting after the quarterback. The Ravens are going to need that, because Terrell Suggs, Brent Urban, Zadarius Smith, CJ Mosley are all free agents, so Polite is a definite need. With the 23rd pick, the Texans need to go O-line, so give him Alabama State Titus Howard. Check out 5 years ago, Howard was 6'2", weighed 235 pounds and played QB. Now he's 6'5", weighs 325 pounds and is a tackle. Texans fans, you know you need this. Houston was dead last in sacks allowed, so O-line has been a top priority with this pick. At 24, the Oakland Raiders used this pick they got from the Khalil Mack trade to take LSU cornerback Greedy Williams. He was so good, teams stopped throwing his way during his final year. Yet, he still had 8 picks over 2 seasons. Only 3 teams allowed a higher passer rating than the Raiders' defense, so adding Williams at least gets them going in the right direction. At 25, Philadelphia Eagles take Clemson defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. He's a space eater. He devours backs in the run game. Stopping the rush was Philly's weakness last year. They gave up 4.7 yards per carry. With the 26th pick, give the Colts ASU wide receiver N'Keal Harry. Harry had 73 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 9 TDs last year. The Colts need a better number 2 behind T.Y. Hilton, and Harry's physicality is a perfect complement. At 27, it's the Raiders again, this time thanks to trading Amari Cooper to Dallas. I think Iowa's tight end Noah Fant is the pick. Fant isn't a refined blocker yet. His strength as a pass catcher, though, he presents a major mismatch and problem for opposing defenses. Jared Cook may be gone via free agency. This is the best way to replace him. On to the 28th pick. Let's give the Los Angeles Chargers Michigan linebacker Devin Bush. Bush was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year last season. He might be the best inside linebacker in the whole draft, and he fits my guy, my best friend, Gus Bradley's defensive philosophy perfectly. No more having to play safeties at linebacker, Gus. The Chiefs had the 29th pick, and they could use some secondary help, so they grabbed Washington corner Byron Murphy. Murphy had 4 picks last year, 17 passes defensed, and was named first team All Pac-12. KC secondary wasn't as bad as some of the stats imply, but it's still an area of need. At 30, it's the Packers again, via New Orleans, and with this pick, they go with Clemson's tackle Christian Wilkins. Wilkins is one of the best at applying pressure from the inside. He stacked 6 sacks on top of 57 tackles last year. With the 31st pick, I had the Los Angeles Rams taking Georgia cornerback DeAndre Baker. Baker was first-team All-American in 2018. Yeah, the Rams have Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib, but you need at least 3 viable corners these days. Baker's ability to play press man is why I like him here. And with the last pick, the New England Patriots, Super Bowl champions, take another Iowa tight end, TJ Hawkinson. 2 tight ends from the same school in the first round. Let's make some more history, New England. Hawkinson is just as good as Fant in a lot of scouts' eyes and will give New England its replacement for Gronk. Hey, I know you're just dying to get at me for these picks. Hit me up on Twitter at MJD and let me know what you all think. And make sure you look out for my updated mock draft, which I'll put out in early April.